Also, last night, awkward moment with President Biden where he was looking very doddery. He was wandering around. He sort of wandered off, and Giorgia Meloni, the Italian premier, had to sort of guide him back to the crowd. It was quite painful viewing. Everyone's putting a slight brave face on it this morning. We've got some more for that for the paper tomorrow. But yeah, you can see from that footage yourself. It's this is getting embarrassing now. And you do really wonder how President Biden is going to be able to run an election campaign in October and November for re-election. And if he won, is that a man you really think is going to get through the next 4 years?
I mean, you're right. It was absolutely painful to watch, and that clip's going viral currently on social media. Obviously, Donald Trump and the Republicans really looking to ham it up. I mean, what was going on? I mean, obviously, most G7 summits are diplomatic sprints. You expect to see the President of the United States, as other world leaders, doing a flurry of meetings. Has he been doing the same thing?
No, he ducked out of the dinner last night, and frankly, Jack, I'm gonna ruin my story for the paper tomorrow by telling it to never mind the ballots. But my sources, diplomatic sources here, people I've been speaking to, say it's the worst they've ever seen Joe Biden. Wow. And he's in a bad way. He's losing focus in meetings. Sometimes he's very sharp, sometimes he's very much not. So some worrying developments there, and an exclusive news story. So never mind the balance.
All right, folks, I wish I could say that the title of this video is sort of tongue-in-cheek. It's a little bit of a joke, but in many ways, it is sincere speculation. Did Joe Biden poop his pants yet again in the past week? Because it is an undeniable fact. I'm not just saying this for conservative propaganda or to get clicks. This is observable. The mental and physical state of Joe Biden is getting significantly worse. And in the past 8 days alone, we've seen things that I think, frankly, if you're an American and you're just considering this is our president, take all of the Trump Biden stuff out of it, it's genuinely pretty alarming, okay? And we'll talk about that all here today, and I'll show you the clips, and I'll demonstrate to you that it is very obvious Joe Biden's dementia is now in the late stages, and he is expressing things that, yes, you may say, Biden has been showing signs of dementia since the start of the 2020 campaign. What else is new? No, this is actually significantly worse. The physical and mental state of Joe Biden, again, is getting significantly worse. So we'll react to that. I got a lot of clips to show you, okay? Because virtually every single public appearance Biden is making at this point, he is showing these kind of signs. But first, for context, let's relive what happened on D-Day a little bit, the moment where people thought he allegedly pooped his pants, because it provides a lot of context, especially this one clip, to what you'll see with Joe Biden's behavior ever since. I don't know, maybe that moment just kind of ruined him, or it got in his head, or it just kicked in the dementia, but check it out. Okay, just as a refresher, I'm not going to dwell too much on this, but this was the moment on D-Day where, you see Joe Biden standing around there, and then he has this moment where he oddly bends over, and you see the reaction of the World War II vets behind him. They're like, what the heck just happened? And then Jill Biden had to walk him off. He left the ceremony early. He kind of left the World War II veterans hanging. That's not honestly the most important point of the entire thing, though. The most important clip from D-Day, arguably, in the context of this video, is this one right here. Check out the look on Joe Biden's face when he was at the car, and even Secret Service was like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? So you see that look on his face. Yeah, Joe Biden genuinely does not know where he is. I know it's a joke. Oh, Biden doesn't know where he is. No, in this moment, you can tell this is like obvious dementia. Joe Biden literally does not have a clue. And by the way, guys, if you are people who kind of prefer to listen to videos instead of watch them, I'm going to say right now, this is the kind of video you want to watch with your eyes. Don't play it in the background because you need to see what's going on here, right? So that was the look. Okay, again, I play that for context because as you'll see here, that Joe Biden dementia face, that is, again, next level. Like, we've seen Biden be pretty bad, stumble through moments, fall off of platforms, fall off of bicycles, but it's never been that bad. Okay, so check this out. Joe Biden, this was yesterday, was meeting with some of the European leaders, and he confusingly, again, genuinely doesn't know where he is. This is not some type of joke or something. He is actually lost. These are actual signs of dementia. And Giorgia Meloni, the Italian prime minister, has to like usher him back into the fold. Okay, so check out this moment here from Joe Biden. Okay, so you see all the world leaders here are facing one direction. They're facing the parachuter that just came in. It's a ceremony or something. Look at Joe Biden, first of all. What is he looking at? I mean, what's going on? Like he literally doesn't know what's happening. Okay, again, I know we say this as a joke. I absolutely believe Biden does get brain freeze and he had, again, signs of dementia, but it is in full fold here. Watch what happens next. He just starts wandering off. Okay, this is like the old guy at the nursing home when they just walk off and the nurse has to bring them back. In that case, the nurse is Giorgia Meloni. Look at that. Folks, that is the Italian prime minister. Okay, look, let's watch that again. Again, she had to come up to him and be like, hey, Mr. Biden, hey, over here. You know? Like she's playing the role of the Filipina nurse right now, except she's a world leader. Okay? Visiting angels, America. That's exactly what's going on here. No joke. No exaggeration. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me, oh, you're just sensationalizing because you're pro-Trump. No. Watch the video. And the look on Biden's face. He doesn't have a clue. Oh, let me put on my sunglasses. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so that was that clip in front of the world leaders. Again, you may say, all right, one bad clip from Biden. Truly, what's the big deal? Okay, well, that's why, again, we continue with the evidence. I present to you example B. Here was Joe Biden on, I believe, Sunday at the Juneteenth celebration at the White House. And just take a look at his face. Okay, again, this is a man who has genuinely no clue where he is. All right, take a look. I mean, you see him there. Again, he does not know where he is. He's like, who is that? Who's this black guy next to me? I forgot where I am. I mean, is he on edibles? Like, what's going on here? He's like, ooh, flashing lights. I mean, folks, absolutely unbelievable. And let me reiterate, okay? Not exaggerating when I say this. All the videos I'm going to show you in this video are over the span of the past 8 days. We are talking about June 6th to June 14th when I am recording this video. Okay, so this is not me cherry picking Joe Biden clips from throughout the years. No, again, that's why I say it's objectively observable. The mental state of this guy is getting far worse. I don't know at this point if he'll even make it to November. I'm not saying I want anything to happen. I'm just saying as an objective fact there, because what is going on here with Biden? Maybe that's why they wanted to do the debates early. You know, you looked at them doing the CNN debate on June 27th, and you might have said, why is that so far out from the election? Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe they're looking at the current state of Biden and saying, guys, the decline is happening so fast. We don't want to do debates in October. Let's get him out of the way now before Joe Biden is unable to speak. I mean, I have no idea, but that's what happened again. Juneteenth, I believe that was Sunday. Okay, so then as you remember on Tuesday, I believe it was Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, where Hunter Biden got convicted in the federal court in Delaware, and Joe Biden goes to meet him and, you know, say, hey, I love you, whatever's going on here. But take a look at, again, the behavior of Joe Biden. Okay, let's play the clip. Okay, so let's rewind there a bit. So first of all, you see him here. I don't know what he's doing to his granddaughter, I believe. Grandchild. I'm not sure if it's a boy or girl. Whatever, grandchild. I mean, it's weird. Yeah, okay. But we could say, oh, well, Joe Biden's just kind of touchy. Okay, fine. Look at what happens here with Hunter Biden. Okay, so Hunter Biden gives him a salute, and then Biden is like, I salute, I wave, I shake your hand, I give you thumbs up. What's going? He doesn't know what's happening. Guys, he genuinely doesn't know what's happening. Okay? And then look what happens next here. All right? So now they walk off. And look at Biden. Do you see that? Look at Biden. Again, he's doing that same exact blank dementia stance that he did at D-Day when he was at the Secret Service car. He did the same thing on Juneteenth. We're seeing this pose a lot from Joe Biden. And again, it genuinely seems, again, like, visiting angels, America's choice and home care. Okay. And so that was the moment. That was the dramatic time when Joe Biden goes to meet Hunter after the conviction. And then, ironically, take a look at how New York Times covered this. And so you saw the video. It's undeniable. At the very least, you're like, what the heck was that? Okay, so New York Times says, Hunter, this is, I kid you not, it reads like North Korean propaganda about Kim Jong-un, okay? It says, Hunter Biden was waiting for his father on the tarmac. He had just been convicted on 3 felony gun charges by a jury in Wilmington, Delaware. His father had hastily rearranged his schedule and rushed up from Washington. Within hours of the verdict, President Biden traveled home, disembarked from Marine One, and embraced his son. The president hugged Hunter Biden's son and wife as well, and bent over to kiss the head of his grandson, Beau Biden. Okay, so correction, I think it's his grandson. To call the relationship between father and son battle-tested is an understatement. Okay, so they're writing this glazing piece like, oh my God, Joe Biden is so amazing. He loves his kids so much. And then that was the real situation, again, we saw there from Biden. And so that was on Tuesday. Okay, June 9th, 2024. Check it out. Joe Biden, once again, we are talking about the span of 8 days here, mysteriously walks off yet another stage, and you just have to ask even more questions. Okay, so again, he's doing it. He's the where am I supposed to go thing.
Mr. President, thank you. At the end of such a momentous
what is he doing?
Event, the word thank you seems kind of inadequate. But for all the millions whose lives will be
saved. And then he walks, what's going
on? For the
on?
communities where life will be transformed.
Folks. Okay, again, look, even the cameraman is confused. Even the cameraman, you notice he keeps panning back and forth because he doesn't know what's happening. Okay? So yet another instance of this. By the way, I believe Donald Trump did a pretty good impression, so we might as well play that just so you can get an idea of what's really going on here.
2 weeks ago, I did one of the greatest imitations. I imitated him. He finishes his speech. His speeches last for about 3 minutes because, his gasoline sort of runs out a little bit. It's a little bit like an electric car, isn't it? It doesn't go far. Doesn't go far. Got a couple of problems. Doesn't go far. No, but he finished his speech, and I did this great imitation. The way he always points, like, huh. And then he walks in a different direction. But I did it. He goes like, huh.
But yeah, folks, I once again want to ask, okay? Am I sensationalizing in this video? Do you guys genuinely think that? Feel free to let me know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into this. It is literally from now to June 6th, only 8 days ago. We're seeing something like this virtually every single day. And frankly, once again, to reiterate the title of this video, would not be surprised if Joe Biden allegedly pooped his pants there yet again. Okay, here was a moment on June 12th where, just take a look again. It just keeps going, right? Okay, so Chuck Schumer here is done giving a speech. He shakes Joe Biden's hand already, as you could see.
Our partner.
Did you see that, folks? Okay, look again here at Joe Biden's hands, okay? So he shakes Joe Biden's hand, all right? He does the handshakes. Literally 3 seconds later, Joe Biden once again, look at that right there, extends his hand, already forgot that Chuck Schumer gave him a handshake, and is once again like, hey, are you going to give me a handshake? Folks, again, I ask, am I sensationalizing, or is it an objective fact? Joe Biden's dementia or senility or whatever is going on there is getting significantly worse. Happy to hear your thoughts. Happy to hear a rebuttal. But when I see this keep happening in the span of about a week, That's something to be concerned about. Okay, last thing I want to talk about here. So Joe Biden, I think this is where they did pump him up with a little bit of Adderall, a little bit of drugs. He went to Everytown on the day that Hunter Biden got convicted to give a speech about gun safety and gun control, which is, of course, ironic considering his own son just got convicted of illegal gun charges. But take a listen here. So Biden just claimed he was a professor at UPenn. That never happened. And then he threatens Americans that he can use F-15s on them. Yeah, this is Joe Biden, guys. Okay, let's take a listen.
They're so damn important. We need you. We need you to overcome the unrelenting opposition of the gun lobby, gun manufacturers, so many politicians when they oppose common sense gun legislation. I used to be when I was no longer the vice president, I became a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Before that, I taught a constitutional law class, and so I taught the Second Amendment.
I will reiterate that never happened.
There's never been a time that says you can own anything you want. You couldn't own a cannon during the Civil War.
That's also not true. In the early days of America, people did own cannons. How do you think they even raised the militia in the first place? I'm not even making the argument that, people should own artillery. You can decide that, but that's objectively, again, not true. But why would Joe Biden know that? Why am I even let's have an intellectual debate with Joe Biden about the Second Amendment? No, I think we should have an intellectual debate with Joe Biden about visiting angels. But no,
I'm serious. Think about it. How much have you heard this phrase? The blood of liberty. Wash it, though. Give me a break. No, I mean it. Seriously. And by the way, if they want to think to take on government if we get out of line, which they're talking again about, well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need.
So yeah, full of lies, first of all, but also on top of that, to make the point about the dementia, completely incoherent. Okay, what was even going on here? All right. Last thing I want to react to, and I just want to point this out because the actual Biden campaign literally tweeted this, and it is just so embarrassing. So apparently Biden at that very speech says, "Who in God's name needs a magazine that can hold 200 shells? If you need 12 to 100 bullets in a magazine, you are the lousiest shot I've ever heard of." Okay. So that's what Biden said. Haha, so funny. The Biden campaign posted this. Unironically, it wasn't a gaffe in a speech. Hey, let's ignore it. They posted this very tweet on Twitter. Okay. So again, let's read into that. 200 shells, 200 shotgun shells. To my knowledge, I don't know of a shotgun magazine that holds 200 shells. What is Joe Biden even talking about? I don't even really know of, regular rifle magazines that hold 200 bullets, maybe 100 bullets. I've never heard of that, but 200 shells. What is he even talking about? Again, not pointing it out because Joe Biden, never knows what he's talking about in regards to guns. That's always been true. I'm more so pointing it out because the Biden-Harris HQ posted this. They thought they were so cool for posting it. Unbelievable, folks. Okay, last thing I want to react to here. The cope of Biden-Harris HQ, of the Joe Biden campaign, about everything we've seen in the past week, where he poops himself seemingly multiple times. He's at Juneteenth staring blankly. He's the thing with Chuck Schumer. Of course, if you want to go backwards in time, the times that Joe Biden has fallen off of stairs, he's fallen off of bicycles, they're big cope about all of it. And discrediting everything we've seen from Joe Biden this is what they said. They said, 4 years ago today, a feeble and pathetic Trump had to be guided by a handler as he could barely walk down a ramp. Okay, so this was at the military graduation, and they always bring up this clip right here. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the thing. They're saying this is worse than everything we've seen from Joe Biden in literally the past few days. Okay, so the only thing they can point to is a clip from 4 years ago, and let's take a look at that clip. All right, let's take a look. So this was where, Trump is walking down the stage slowly. All right. Now, for the record, Donald Trump has explained this. He said the reason this was because the ramp was very slippery. He was wearing dress shoes, and he did this because he said he didn't want to fall off the ramp because that would literally look worse. But even if you don't want to believe Donald Trump's story about this clip and say, okay, he did have one moment where he feebly, quote unquote, walked off of a stage. How many times has Joe Biden done that this week? Unbelievable, folks. And so that's their cope. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, all right. That sums up, to my knowledge, all the clips we've seen from Joe Biden this week. To be honest, I probably missed some. So with that said, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Biden has pooped his pants yet again from now since D-Day? Because last time in the past video, I said, it's alleged. We don't know what happened. What do you think happened? The overwhelming majority of you guys said, yes, he did indeed poop his pants. And so let me know if you think that happened again. But jokes aside, okay, in all seriousness, I think it is undeniably true. Something is horribly wrong with Joe Biden, and, normal, objective, genuinely objective in the middle people should be very concerned about it. But of course, all we hear is cope. All we hear is Donald Trump is worse, all this. No, it's very obvious. Okay. And if you take your little lens off of partisanship, truly, I'm saying that, it's pretty obvious to see. Something is wrong with Joe Biden. His mental state is getting much worse. Again, the receipts are all those clips I showed you, past 8 days. You know how Joe Biden always leads into the mic, the past 8 days. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comment section down below. But until next time, be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Alpha moves only, God bless. By the way, if you're at the Turning Point event in Detroit, I'll see you there, and peace.